When it comes to conflict, I think that we often get it backwards. And I want to suggest just a little swap so that you can have conflict that is resolved easier and faster. I'm Stacy Rocklein, and I help people take their good relationships and turn them into exceptional relationships through really great communication. When we have a conflict, it feels bad. There's this thing between us, this tension, and we want it to either go away or we want to handle it. It feels like the order we need to go in is handle the conflict, and then we'll feel connected again. And that makes logical sense, but it's harder to do it that way. And it's much easier if you flip it and you do get connected first and then you handle the conflict. So let me tell you a story because it's kind of like this. I have 3 boys, so it's rowdy around here. And we've made many trips to the emergency room. But when they were little, my 2 youngest were outside playing in the yard. My youngest was 2 and his brother was 7. And his older brother was so excited because he was learning how to golf. And we had given all kinds of safety information to him. So he knew to make sure nobody was around him if he was going to swing a golf club. These aren't plastic golf clubs. They were like the metal golf clubs. And he does a good job of looking in front of him, but he neglects to notice who's in his backswing. And so he winds up and he smacks his brother in the head with a golf club right here. Next thing I know, they're running in the house, they're both crying, and there is blood everywhere. I just remember watching my sister-in-law's eyes. They were huge, like, oh my God, what are we going to do, right? But you've got a problem and you do have to deal with it. But the most important thing when you've got someone who has been injured like that is to connect with them first, especially if they're a little kid. So what I always do first whenever my kids get hurt is like, hey, buddy, hi, look at me. It's going to be okay. We're going to handle this. I'm right here. You're not alone. This is the 2 of us together. You make that connection to that loved one's heart first. You let them know that this is something that we're going to work out as a team. And once we have this connection, everybody can calm down. He stops crying. And now we deal with this, right? We do need to stop the bleeding. We're going to need to clean up. We actually need to go to the emergency room and get the derma glue to glue his head back together. But first you do connection and then you deal with the problem. And it's the same way when it comes to our conflict. When you connect first, now everybody feels safe. They don't feel alone. 2 people who had been across the room arguing with each other or in conflict, now you're sitting side by side. It's way easier to deal with it that way. And I don't mean ignore, distract, push down, bury, none of that. I absolutely want you to handle the conflict. It's really important. But it's the difference between fights and conversations. When you dive right into the conflict and there's no connection, people get triggered, people hurt feelings further. You end up talking around the issue and not even getting right to the issue. But when you connect first, when you're sitting side by side looking at that problem over there together, it's so much easier. So how do you do it, right? There are a lot of different ways. One thing you want to do is always work on connection every single day, intentionally. That's really important. But in the moment, you've got this thing between you. Connect first. Use humor. Use appreciation. Use, compliments. Tell them what they do well, what they do right. You want to make sure that they know that you're there and that in turn they can connect with you and let you know that they're there. Now we feel safe. Now we can have this conversation. So whatever works for you, just stop everything and do it first. Connect first, conflict after. You will have so much more success. It will go faster and it will go more smoothly. And then as for those daily connections, you got to do those. We leave ourselves on default, and one of the things that we forget to do is appreciate each other and compliment each other and connect with each other. And if you're looking for some fresh new ideas for how to do that, make sure that you grab the download, Flirty Little Secrets, because there are some fun things in there that you can do to spice things up and keep adding those positive interactions into your bank account, which make conflict so much easier.